Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Maybe not. MJ38 show, episode 94. Matthew and Justin, San Antonio, back at home, here for you. Hopefully you're having a great life. Let's make it a little bit better. How you doing, bro?
Excellent. How are you?
Let's go. I'm doing well. We were talking about kicking around cans of thoughts and ideas to talk about. One reoccurred in my mind. I remember you mentioning it, but it was just the subject of nearly pooping your pants as an adult, as a grown man.
Yes.
This was I get a text message. Bloop.
Oh, no.
It's like, okay. It's like, podcast topic. Nearly shitting yourself as an adult. I was like, oh no. Is this like, where's this coming from? Is this the near miss?
Here's the thought is just that, like, as a kid, you know, when you're a little kid, if you shit yourself, you're just a baby.
It happens. Babies are expected to shit themselves all the time.
Right. And at 5, like, you're not going to be mad at your kid if you want to help him out. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Poor kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess, like, but then you slowly start to grow from, like, maybe, like, by the time you're 15, for the most part, shitting your pants would be
at what age when does that line get drawn? At what age is shitting your pants not appropriate? Or, like, a little bit less leniency? Double digits? 10? Less?
Yeah.
8?
I don't know. They're just so young, you know?
Yeah. When do you get off of diapers, I guess, hypothetically? You start potty training around
like
what?
3?
Like 2, 3? Okay.
Yeah, but it's like a thing, you know? They're kids.
And then, yeah, it's going to be some shaky waters for a little bit.
Yeah.
For the next couple years thereafter. But so like 2 to 3, so then maybe like 3 to 6.
I think maybe by like 5. They're in kindergarten. Okay. For the most part, you're hoping maybe they can go to school and like regulate that.
I bet you're definitely packing extra underwear for sure in kindergarten. Just in case. Just in case.
See, I don't ever think but do you remember being in kindergarten? I don't think I ever peed on myself.
I can't recall. I don't think so. Because I think if you got that, if that experience happens to you, it would stay. I think it has some staying power in your mental, depending on how, I think I may have peed myself for sure when I was maybe like 5-ish. But I don't think I pooped myself.
It's just a funny thing to open the podcast with.
So I was like, what are we talking about? Topics of conversation.
Okay, so since we're just on the subject, I guess.
Yeah, we're there. We're there.
This is where
we are there.
Let's explore.
Welcome, guys.
I think so. I think the last like forgivable accident I could give myself, I was like, I had to be like 8. And I shit myself.
See, you remember that, right? You remember this.
Yeah, I do. So we were both, so we were in New York. So we're eating all this New York food, by the way.
Okay.
And then
hot dogs in what?
Like spaghetti with like sauce.
Italian food?
Yeah, for sure.
Pop it, okay.
Heavy stuff.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so we go tubing down the street because it's New York and it's winter time and it's covered in snow.
Okay, so you're tubing, like an inner tube?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got like some inflatable inner tubes and then it's like snowing and iced over on this hill that they like live on a hill. Like it's just like up the street basically.
It's like a thing they do?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I think we saw maybe other people doing it. And
I'm sure it's a thing. Yeah. They got hills, slippery hills.
We go out there and it's like a big ass hill, dude. Like it was like a long street on a steep incline. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you could get to the top,
a couple blocks of just uphill.
Yeah. And then we did it like I went down maybe like 3 times, right? And then on the second time, I'm like, I remember thinking like my stomach hurts. And by the third time, I'm like going up the hill. It kind of starts to hit me. And then we get to the top of the hill. And I'm like, I gotta get down this hill. I gotta get down right now. And then,
0 to 100?
But I get like down the hill, inside, and just don't make it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no. Having too much fun. Way too much fun. Oh, jeez Louise.
But and so I'm so embarrassed, right? I'm so embarrassed.
You're not even in your home. You're in a family member's house, I'm assuming, probably.
Yeah.
You're just out there with someone.
Oh, yeah. But
different state.
I remember my Grammy was super chill and thought it was like funny, you know.
How many people know about this? It's just Grammy.
Someone else brought it up. I can't remember. I think my uncle brought it up one time, and I was just like, "Yo, come on, guys."
I was 8. Give me a break.
I think.
Oh my gosh.
I think she just told him that night, and he attached that to that memory that he has of us doing that thing.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god! Anytime anyone mentions tubing or going tubing or skiing, bobsledding, it's like, oh yeah, my nephew shit himself one time. We were sledding too. It was hilarious. Oh, in the tubes. Oh, we were riding in the tubes one time. My nephew shit himself.
You know how stories are.
Yeah, you're a kid.
That's how it goes.
You're a kid. That's excusable. 8, I think, is like right there. That's like right there.
Yeah, right.
8's right there.
And
you knew you tried. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You were photo finishing. Sometimes the cards just don't get dealt to you. Sometimes you just don't get the break. That's okay. It's okay. It happens.
Yeah. So forgivable that's what I'm saying. I think that's the last forgivable one.
Right around like 8.
After that, I'm being irresponsible.
Yes,
you know?
yes, I have one. It wasn't myself, but one of my homeboys. Leave him unnamed. Unnamed homeboy gentleman. Love you, unnamed.
Thank you for the story.
Freshman, sophomore year. Yeah, sophomore year of college. Like me and some of my middle school and high school buddies. There's like probably a group of 5 or 6 of us that went to the same college. So then the first year, freshman year, you're staying in the dorms. Couple of us stayed together and then cross campus in the dorm life. I think you have to, right? As a freshman, you have to stay in the dorms.
Yeah, I had to.
Right. Yeah. So I think freshman year in the dorms, but then sophomore year we were living like together, 4 of us in a 4-bedroom little apartment. And one of my homeboys, just one night, just too much, just that's it.
Classic case.
Classic case. Two night. One night, too much. Three's Company. It was apparently he just believed himself. They woke up in the middle of the night, changed the shit, threw it in the washer, and then woke up the next morning and handled business. But I just remember hearing about that story. I was unaware of this. I had my own things going on.
Too much
that
alcohol?
night. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There we go. I wanted to know what you were talking about.
Oh,
but
yeah,
the end result. Okay, got it.
Too much.
Show me alcohol.
Show me college drinking.
I'm thinking like too much what? Too much what?
Oh, no,
but yeah, no, I'm with you.
Too much. Paul drank.
Headshot.
It just happens.
It does. Okay. Well, I've never done that while I was drunk.
No, yeah.
I blacked out.
I know.
But, you never know.
I did pee in someone's closet. I blacked out. I definitely peed somewhere I wasn't supposed to.
I think
oh god.
I think that drunks I've definitely almost peed it because my dream. You ever have a dream where you're gonna go pee?
Yeah. You're like, you're about to pee in the dream for whatever reason.
Yep. And then you'll have that flash to real life moment where you're like about to pee and you're like, yo, like turn that off. I gotta go to the bathroom like right now. That happened to me like 3 or 4 times.
Flip it. Gotta flip the switch back on. Gotta hop back into the matrix real quick. Like, oh god.
It's like, the dream me got a system override.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Got the emergency red button. The override.
But shitting your pants as an adult, here we are today. Like 2 or 3 days ago. And here's my theory is that eventually you hope to get to a place in your life where you've like progressed past doing that,
For sure.
At 20, in college, you're probably not going to shit yourself or piss yourself, right? That's like how we deal with it.
Probably not.
And then
Let's get really fucked up.
one thing is that the older you go, like from 20 to 30, like maybe your stomach gets like more sensitive or people develop allergies or I don't know. I think you start to take it for granted. I think that's what it is.
What's that?
Like your ability to make it to the bathroom.
Okay.
So in the morning,
Maybe a little slower, a little more aches and pains.
yeah, like I think you could just like, because, okay, so here's me driving to work.
Okay.
Not driving to work, driving to daycare. And I like, my stomach's rumbling, but I can't stop because we got to get to daycare. So we're driving across town to daycare. And I ate a decent meal the night before. And then I had kava and 2 Ollipops. So full plate of food and then 2 like the probiotic sodas. And I just felt myself. I did the coffee and the nicotine Zen on the way there. And everything was just like ready to go, bro.
Oh yeah.
It was like a vicious cocktail.
Duty's calling. In the morning.
but I had to make it to daycare, and then I'm driving back, and I feel like there's like a 10-minute stretch where I can't really stop for gas, and then I can get to like where the gas stations are close to home, and they all just line up. So I'm just trying to get to that little spot right there. I need like 10 more minutes out of myself, you know?
Oh God.
And it was just tough, bro. It
The
was just
finish line.
tough. So
This cocktail's brewing.
I pull into the gas station, stir, stir, hop out. And I want to like run.
Yeah. Yes.
I wanna,
With what gait? Like from walking to sprinting, you have to find a nice socially acceptable medium.
I'm trying to get there. That's what I want to do.
How fast did you go?
No, I pulled it out, and I think I'm doing like what is intended to be a power walk.
Okay.
But then I realized that the strides of a power walk are leaving me way too vulnerable to my reality. And so I kind of have to like
Sense the situation.
give myself some nice posture, take some small steps.
Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Hold it together.
No, that's what I call a make or break moment. That's character defining. I held my constitution.
Oh no! You're resolved.
I sidestepped through the door, real careful, real careful.
Real careful.
Not a
Real
full
careful.
step. I just get in there. But there's a fucking guy, and he's waiting to use the bathroom.
Oh no!
And he looks at me.
buddy. Buddy.
I start figuring out how I'm about to sell him that I gotta go first.
No! I gotta go first. I gotta go now. I'm gonna destroy it. I'm gonna destroy it. Oh God! They don't have any Febreze in that bitch dog. I'm sorry.
Casualties will be too much to handle, much like
Oh my God!
a bomb in an epicenter of a city.
Oh God! What'd you say to him?
I'm rolling up on this guy, dude.
Okay, who's the guy? Describe him.
He's wearing a flannel shirt. He's like 6'2".
Okay.
He's a white guy with long hair. It's like
Like a kid or like a mid
He
30-year-old?
looks like he's like 30.
Okay.
You know, maybe a little older than that actually. Maybe like 35.
Okay.
And he was just like a chill dude. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, he
had
could be a
long
bro.
hair. He was chilling.
He can be a bro for sure.
Yeah. So
Hook it up, bro. I need some help.
as I'm pulling up on, man, I hate to have to ask you this. As I'm getting ready to gear that speech up,
Okay.
I look at him and he's on like a crutch.
Oh no. Christ. He's gonna take forever. He's gonna take forever.
Even more reason to treat him like a person
Yeah.
and tell him I needed help.
You need help. I need help.
I hate to
God.
do this to you, but I will speed run this. I need to get through the first wave alone. Okay? No.
Oh no. Okay, so what
But
happens?
then he looks into my eyes and he sees what's going on. He's like, oh, this guy's fucked.
Oh no. You're about to witness a homicide.
Cowboy shuffling to him. He's like, this guy's fucked up.
With the waddle.
This man's in a bad way.
Oh no.
Yo. So he stops me and he says,
Okay.
hey man, I'll be really quick.
No, I don't want to hear. You son of a bitch. No, I don't want to fucking hear. Oh god.
But it's fair. But at least
Oh yeah, absolutely.
he addressed my situation.
Okay, he understands the urgency of the matter.
I'm with you. My heart goes out to you.
I'll be really quick. Oh, that's so funny. You can just like pick up. Nothing needed to be said. Nothing needed to be said. He just knew. You could just feel it. Oh, it's so funny. You could just like, there's energy in the room. You know, there's a story going on, and he was able to read the story as if he was like an objective person watching your movie. He's like, oh, he's about to shit himself, and then try to comfort you.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh god, did he have like a brace or like anything on his leg?
He had a brace and a crutch. And then
Oh,
our friend
shit.
has a brace and a crutch
Oh man.
right now. And I was just like, bruh. That's another reason I was like I was like,
That's so funny.
it's okay. I have to go so bad, even though he's like hurting right now. I'm going to ask him anyways. And then it's like, one of your best friends has the same kind of injury. And I'm like, and he just grabs me and dictates the conversation. He knew what was up, but and then another character defining moment while you're waiting for him to go fast.
Yeah.
That
Just sitting there. That's a heavy minute. That's a heavy minute, 2 minutes.
was the closest I ever got. It just felt it was tough, man.
That's close. It happens, dog.
You take it for granted.
Yeah.
So my dad had told me one time, you need to keep an extra pair of pants in your car because it's not if you're gonna shit your pants. It's like when are you gonna shit your pants?
It's just gonna happen.
You misjudge sometimes, and then I'll be like I said, I had to go to daycare.
You're on a time crunch. Life has obligations.
Yes,
and your body doesn't give a shit. Mother Nature don't care.
eventually you're gonna roll a D1.
It's coming.
It's like, how do I handle bathroom for today? A 1. You shit yourself in traffic.
Yeah, you get in traffic, unforeseen traffic.
Right?
You're just at the door. Yeah, it can happen. It can happen to anyone. Mix in some alcohol. Mix in some some disagreements with your digestive system.
It can happen.
It's like, oh, don't get me around Thai food.
Yeah.
It might just send you there depending on your sensitivities. I think I have I think part of what plays into your dietary reactivity to things is like your ancestral sort of like what they were eating, to
You
a
think
degree.
there's something to that? People talk about that a lot.
I think so. I think it makes sense.
Like
at
the
least
idea is that your
can follow
specific
it.
DNA comes from a location of the earth where like it relatively traveled from. So I guess it originated in that place. And if it spent the longest amount of time it spent there, I guess eating a certain type of food, that the genes passed down from them are like predispositioned to digest that kind of food really well.
I would think so, right? I think I could follow, or that makes sense to me, like logically.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's science that maybe can back it up or might contradict it, but it makes sense as far as like a premise for sure.
Yeah.
A theory.
I think there is ways to, I don't know how they do it. I guess they just trace it back to, because they'll do it through your DNA.
Yeah, you can do through 23andMe and shit or whatever.
And it gives you like you would do well with a vegan diet, bro. Or like, they'll even say high carb diet.
Yeah, I guess I think that probably is like an accessory or probably an additional add-on you can have with that DNA analysis.
I think they do have companies where they do that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I guess, yeah, the question is, well, first of all, that's a jump because hereditary DNA was a jump like not that long ago. That was even something that you would, I guess, like inherit the experiences and like what the character was more than just like blue eyes, blonde hair, things like that. So do you believe in that, firstly?
Yeah, I think so. I think we could pass down some sort of like character or like personality traits and character quirks or
that just makes the
types
show
of smiles and types of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The show
Descendants
so good.
We're trying to do. Yeah, dude. I think if we dramatize that properly with a good story behind it, have like the main characters be completing their cycles and like to have the crossovers be hitting. I know what it feels like when I'm watching something and I'm like, this is fucking hitting. It's like a song, you know what I'm saying? When you listen to something like this is fucking hitting.
Yeah, dude.
And we're trying to do that shit.
I'm with you. I saw the vision.
Foreseeing that shit.
It was
bro.
so good.
Coming out.
The problem is we have to like make that show happen.
Yeah.
It's a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we just gotta have ChatGPT help us write the screenplay, figure out how to write a screenplay, figure out how to write a show, and then pitch it to Netflix or whatever. Whoever the fuck we need to pitch it to.
Get it out the door. Get it to pitch. We start from here, we get it to pitch, and then that's a different thing. Then it's just marketing.
Actors are yours truly, of course. We're going to be the main characters in this timeline, and then we'll have like our ancestral backgrounds and maybe a couple other characters in the restaurant maybe, or actually kind of connected to us, have like them be another actual character in ours, and then maybe their ancestors in a different, I don't know. Still chopping it up.
Yeah.
But either way, we can make it fucking hit because shit like that is cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think
cool.
I can handle spicy food to a degree, or like Mexican food for sure. But yeah, some people might have a little bit more sensitivity in that department. So I think it might be like, yeah, whatever was maybe culturally, agriculturally, agriculture, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the aggregate.
Where's that come from? I think that's like, yeah, part of it, of what was able to be grown in the area where you came from, or whoever, the line of you, whatever you follow that back to. And I guess there's like small deviations in that just based on genetics and like probabilities, fucking rolling the dice.
Yeah. No, I guess that's how they say it. That's science, you know? But
Makes perfect sense to me.
That's really I'm into it. So I'm buying what you're putting down. It's just I think that's why that show
Smelling what I'm
might
stepping
be
in.
yeah. I think that show might be successful because that idea of hereditary DNA is something that we've just accepted maybe like in the last 10 years of science. I would even say maybe like 5 years. Because I remember like I think it was around 5 years ago. That was like a debate people were talking about.
Really?
Yeah. Whether or not, like things outside of the genetic dictators to like make up your,
Just physical components or your physical makeup?
yes, whatever the 23 chromosomes give you wasn't like experiences that people had had in that sense. But if then, yeah, then the idea is like, however you kind of like you started as a baby and then whatever you do in your life to like your body or to your person or like who you become to some degree is going to like get passed down into your baby. That kind of makes sense to me. Feel like whatever, it's not really logically but like philosophically, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That somehow what we do in here goes into what our kids do or who they are, you know?
Yeah. Or at least a little bit.
Or it's like, who are we, I guess, you know what I'm saying? It's like, are we the product of our parents version of that? That this might just be like how like it is the same person, you know what I'm saying? That's what the DNA is expressing.
Hmm. It's like a different variant.
Something like that. I don't know. So that's the idea is they're trying
Yeah.
I think they were trying to figure that out like 5 years ago, but I think we're pretty much there now where it's widely accepted.
Yeah. Or like, I guess, accepted the fact or the idea that there's more than just like the physical makeup of like your body and like maybe more abstract things can be hereditarily passed down through generations.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's tight. That's tight.
Like alcoholism is kind of one of them where it's like,
Okay.
is that a
Yeah.
thing that gets passed down?
Yeah. Does that run in your family?
Right. And then I think so then the question becomes if we've accepted that this thing is true, can you fight off the alcoholism even though you have it and then your child would have a lower proclivity towards that alcoholism? That's the next step of that question. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. I think I want to say yes. That makes sense to me.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because then that makes our life matter a lot at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because you really
As
are
far as like
passing.
lineage and
Yeah,
having
dude.
kids and
Trying to make like the family tree better as it goes down, you know? Like not in a weird way, but like that I guess what you're thinking is that your your DNA that you're passing on is doing better and better and better and better in this world. I think is like one idea that I've attached now to like kids, you know?
mm-hmm,
And I
mm-hmm.
think my parents always said we just want to see you do better than we did. I kind of like feel that, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And so if our day-to-day decisions and who we develop ourselves to become is part of the passing down, we become super important at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Ending generational curses.
Right.
I've heard that term,
Is that possible?
Yeah, I think so. Right. And I think we could express that idea and dramatize it in the fucking Chosen, or whatever the fuck it's called, the show we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about making. You'll see one day. We'll be like, damn, Pod 94. They called that shit, dog. They've been calling that shit, dog.
Yeah, it's a show that we like that
We're not
we're
even
gonna. It's
fucking playing with y'all.
a lot of people write screenplays.
We're not playing.
Some of them bang.
Bang. Hamilton. That guy just wrote that shit over time.
Yeah.
Wrote that shit over time, doing his day to day, doing what he's working, what he was working.
Some of that is just him rapping corny bars.
He's rapping bars.
He really sells it.
He
You know,
goes hard.
and it's like that's what I'm saying. Hamilton's so interesting.
Goes
Part of
hard.
the reason it's phenomenal is because there's a lot of things going on that hit culture at a certain point in time. And the thing with the Descendants is it's people don't know what to do with that. People because that thing I just expressed about you could do things in your life to help your children not have alcoholism.
Yeah,
Like your fight is their fight.
Experience different patterns.
Yeah, that's just now something that people could possibly believe without being like kind of woo woo, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so people are still digesting that. And I don't think that it's very hard to be thinking like, what behaviors am I exhibiting right now in this moment of this hour, this day? And what behavior set do I want to exhibit? And am I actively pushing myself into those categories every single day? That's a difficult question that I don't think a lot of people are necessarily asking, even though we're all trying to be good people.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But with that being said, it's that important, or it could be to you, you know? If you get to a point where you really want a better life for your kids, like starting with yourself,
Yeah.
what changed the starting point for them, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think ultimately it's like taking that mindset and adopting that truly and fully and accepting that is like the key or like the answer to. It's like the what you can do here. It's like that's it. It's like the maximized choosing to accept that and like sacrifice for that and towards that ideal. It's like it's like all we can do here. You know what I'm saying? It's like the maxed out expression of life, I think. Yeah, that's all we can do. Oh, we only get this one. You know, we're just like a small little blip, but there's like the generations and the Bible is like super about that, like that idea of like the descendants of people and like it's like the stories tie in and the echoes of the stories that happen. It's like it's crazy.
See, like the tracing of the lineage, right? That's what you're talking about. It's at the
Yeah.
beginning of a lot of the chapters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you like pointing towards its importance if it's like constantly noted, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's like we
Granted, there weren't a lot of people back
there's something
then, but I'm
there.
sorry, go on.
I don't know. I'm just saying like it's like I don't know. I guess there's a subtle, regardless of whatever you think about the literary accuracy, historical accuracy behind some of the stuff. It's just like even the illusion in this crazy book. This crazy book has like an illusion that's like they're hyper realities. JBP dog, they're hyper realities. They're realer than real.
I was just thinking about that concept the other day.
This shit's realer than real, bro. It's like,
Yeah.
and part of what they're trying to express in these realer than real stories is like one of them, for example, is like the story of Ruth. It's like this. It's like a really really small little. I think it's only like 4 verses or 4 chapters, and it's really small. And she's just like a person who's outside of like the Israelite, the chosen people of Israel. She's like an outsider. She marries in. Her husband dies. His brother dies, and then she ends up staying with the mother-in-law. And then like it's just them two, and like part of it is like the embodiment of what are her actions and her choices, her actions that she chose to embody and behavior that she chose to enact was like in line with it's like doing the right thing more or less, you know what I'm saying, to a degree. It's like I'm gonna honor my commitment and I'm gonna and like this lady, she's like widowed, you know what I'm saying? She lost her husband and both of her sons. Is my mother-in-law, like still technically, you know what I'm saying, whatever. I'm just gonna like stay with her and like do the right thing to a degree. And then she ends up having like the lineage of just like through happenstance circumstance ends up having a child and then being like the great grandmother of like King David, you know what I'm saying, more or less. And like just like that type of idea of like it's deeper than brown hair, blue eyes. It's deeper than smiles and quirks and habits and prone to alcoholism. It's like those things are tangible effects, but I think there's even like a grander scale of like your energetic expression of who you are, you know? It's like
Yeah.
the goodness you can do, you know what I'm saying? If someone's like truly fucking like the spirit of God could be upon someone, you know what I'm saying? If you like remedy yourself and put yourself in a position, like you can be somewhere down your line. You can have someone that's like a fucking king or have someone that does something crazy, great, you know what I'm saying? That changes the course of history or something like that.
And that's realer than real.
That's realer than real. That's realer than a documentary. You know what I'm saying? And documentaries, like people embody that energy, and we love it. We're like, go on, man. You fucking do the thing. You chase that dream. You do that, whatever. If it's like righteous, I guess, and aimed at what we can commonly deem as like a good, like a good moral like goal to strive for that helps all people. You know, more or less.
A North Star to point at.
Yeah, everyone's like, that's a worthy goal to strive for. That's what's up. But, and we're also prone to know if someone's not doing that too. You're like, man, they're fucked up.
Bro, that was beautiful.
Yeah, man, appreciate it, though.
That's why, and that also, like, I love that it also was a really well articulated version of, like, why we say that it's worth it. Like, it's worth it. It was kind of like a brand or like a.
It's our just do it.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Why just do it? Because it's worth it.
Exactly. It's perfect. It's fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I was just thinking about, because somebody asked me the other day, they're like, I don't know, it was like a younger kid at work.
Okay.
You know, I don't need.
Whatever.
What was known? Yeah,
someone asking you something.
Not disclosed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh damn! Oh damn!
Shit.
And we're in the
Dude,
spooky
this is
vibe.
a fucking vibe.
And we're in a spooky vibe. And I'm gonna sing until he comes back in with the shirt thing. Back up in the bingo. Hit him with a bingo.
So, anyways, this kid was just asking me about like praying for people and like how do you like how do you just jump in there and do that with like
saying prayers?
Yeah, with like confidence. Like it feels like you're good in there. How you doing that? And I was like,
it's like, well, son, when you say hut, something else just takes over, dog.
Yeah, for real. About one of my last prayers too. Like I had I just took like a breath. I was like, I just need to breathe while I was praying. I just
Mm-hmm.
felt like the presence
That
of
seems right.
breathe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Hard stop right here.
Yeah.
Period. Like,
Yeah. And then like continued, but it was crazy. It was crazy to watch myself do that. I'm like, yo, you just picked it right back up and got back up in there.
yeah, it's like
Cuz.
Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hold on, hold on, hold on. This fucking starts cooking.
Yeah. Cuz it's like I'm saying like I don't like you just said sometimes I just get in there and something happens, you know? So
Mm.
like just it was kind of I was like, whoa, that was wild. And I don't know if he was like, or I think maybe that happened even after he asked me this question, because maybe it like
But he was just asking about praying for like someone specifically, like in like a one-on-one setting, or just like in general.
just like in general
Okay.
for like a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then I guess he even said that he had tried to pray for like a group of people one time, and he kind of like choked up and had a hard time getting through it. And but I think he wanted to be someone that wanted to pray for people, and I was definitely just like talking to him about.
It's a worthwhile thing.
I kind of had a head start all the way to the point where he's like asking me more questions where he gets to I don't know why he's like say one more thing bro, like how do you because he'd already asked about music and podcasts and like all the shit we're doing. He's like how do you do it all or how do you keep doing it every day, like what gets you to get out of bed and still like go hard and pull up and wreck. And I'm like on one hand like you haven't even been here very long, so I don't know how you got to that question so fast, but maybe you're just feeling that in your life. You're like, it's a hard time to pull up and wreck. And that's kind of like where I go to. And then I'm just like, the answer is it's worth it. Like, just like the brand. I'm like, it's worth it.
That's it.
But
it's
then,
that simple.
right?
It is that simple. It's that simple. It's that simple.
That's but I didn't know if those words would. I should have just. I might have sounded like a guru, bro. It's worth it, dog.
You said it?
And just walk away. No.
Oh, no. Okay.
I
What'd you
didn't think
say?
you'd be able to digest that. But then I
Okay.
got to this point where I'm like, how do I? To me, I'm like, I just want to present this thing. It's worth it, but you're not gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? So how do I articulate what I'm trying to say there? And then you did it perfectly.
It's too broad. Yeah.
That was one perfect example of. I wish if you would have came in on the feature right
It's
there,
worth it.
it would have been bodied.
Yeah. Just coming with a crazy 16 out of nowhere.
But that's why it's the brand, is because it's the answer to a tough question.
Yes. We're all dealing with it.
Yeah,
We're all dealing with this shit.
yeah.
Like, why? Why go hard? Why do anything? Why fucking care about what I'm doing?
Because I give him the answer, and then it kind of hits me even harder. I'm like, that's what, like, you just asked me about the podcast, and you just asked me about the music. Like, everything I just told you about is to like answer that question of like, how do you do this every day? And that kind of tripped me out. That I was like, hold on, I got like a cannon for that question actually. Like my career's built on that question actually, dog. Like, hold on, this I need to get this question every fucking day. How do I put myself in a position where they ask me this every single day? Because my whole career is the answer.
Yeah.
It's like identifies purpose. It's like, oh, that's what your podcast is about. Because I can say it's like culture, slice of life. We're talking about stuff. No, we're like,
It's comedy, it's current events, it's life, it's spirit of truth embodied in two human beings.
but this brand is predicated just at its core root of like, it's worth it. We're gonna pursue it, and we think that you should feel the same way about life, which ultimately is like
That's why we're doing this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Super meta with it.
Yep.
But like maximizing your output into life in like a Christ-like manner, or like at least in the body of the themes of the motifs that wrap and surround themselves with what is the Christ-like motif, is to do this thing at the highest level so that maybe a king can be born through your lineage. just maximum output, like maximum faith, just trying to be obey. Like it's not asking a lot, you know, but it is. It's ultimately like the hardest thing in the world.
It's everything, yeah. It's all the time. Someone's always watching.
Yeah, but then that's the thing, is like, why do it? Yeah, that's the whole. I was trying to get to that question before we started talking about the Christ-like nature of lineage too. Is like because it's like, why not just chill? It's like, why not just enjoy life? Why not just take it easy?
Yeah. Take the immediate gratification or the quick hedonistic pleasure.
Yeah,
That pursuit.
yeah. Why not? And then the answer is like, because it's worth it.
It's worth
If
it.
you're really gonna make someone answer, you know.
Quite simply. That's it. That's all you need. But we don't, or we need more than that. We need more than that.
I can see it.
Even in like it's crazy to see even like the reading the Old Testament, one of the common themes that's like reoccurring is just like the people of Israel are super stubborn. They're super stubborn, and they're super stubborn. Like these, you literally see Moses like part the seas, or you see these miracles. Like you see the fucking plagues in Egypt. You see all these things happen, and like you're still not like completely convinced. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I'm down. I'm in. Like I don't need to see anything else. Like if I saw one, if you see one of those things, but this like I don't know, it's just like a commonly reoccurring theme. But I think it's just like part of what we're dealing with here. It's like we just forget, and we're so into the game. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not we're not out here with it. We're right. We're down here with it. We're in here sometimes. You know what's up?
That was just you just gave me $1,000,000 worth of game. I'm sitting here just being like just what's the word? Absorbing that. And I saw Moses part you saw Moses part the seas. Like what are you talking about? Like in your own life, bro. Like
Yeah,
just
right.
thinking about like what miracles have you seen in your life in the sense that like felt like Moses parted the seas and
Something
you
crazy happened that you can't explain. You
right.
can't explain. No logical explanation whatsoever.
Right, right. Like I've got a few of
People's
those.
got people have a couple.
Yeah.
Someone might have a couple. You know.
To the point where, you and maybe even further on that metaphor to like travel through to a new land based on like a miracle. You know what I'm saying? That you
Yeah.
would deem a miracle. Most of your life is get up, go to work, go to sleep, watch Netflix, make eggs. Like it's a lot of the similar executed
Get
commands.
gas.
Yeah. You're doing a lot of the same shit. And then sometimes in that game a fucking sea parts and you walk through it and that's not every day,
Yeah, a portal opens up and then you're in a different world now.
Yeah, bro.
You bump into somebody or something happens.
And I think that
Life
could
changes.
be representative of parting the seas and trying to make a mark of when you get to a promised land and like you got to remember that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, man. That's this thing. It's this game we're fighting, or like if we're entropy we're fighting, and sin that we're fighting. It's the spiritual warfare of like not, I don't know, being healthy enough and wholesome enough to like treat our life like it's a journey. Because when they talk about your life, it's like it was a journey. You know, they did this and they did this.
It's a story, yeah.
Yeah, but you're not treating it like that when you're in it sometimes.
No.
But you can.
Yeah, it takes a conscious push. For sure.
That's David Goggins. Stay hard, motherfucker.
Stay hard.
Subscribe, motherfucker, by the way.
Subscribe. Stay hard and subscribe.
But yeah.
Rise.
yeah, we need a clip of that shit.
All of them.
Yo, but that's I think that's what he's like pointing to. Is like stay hard. It's a difficult. It's like SEAL Team 6 is like your life though, you know?
It's every day.
You got to be like with precision and come correct and be like locked and loaded if you want to complete the mission.
It's every day. No days off, dog.
Yeah.
Every day. You're in this bitch, dog. I'm sorry. Like you have this fucking life subscription. You know what I'm saying? We subscribed, like in our spiritual realm, we subscribe to life, and now we're just in here. We wake up, we have to go to sleep. We have to go back to the motherland or wherever the hell our mind goes whenever we go to sleep. And then whenever we're not in the motherland sleeping, we're here. You know, it's like a weird little, and we need to go there. We need to go there. And if you don't go there enough, you're going to have a shitty time here. It's like, damn. So you need to balance that. And then you got to eat. You're starving to death. And you got to not shit yourself. Those are the things we're all dealing with. I'm not sure if we subscribed for it or signed up for it. Maybe, maybe not. But we're here regardless. So we got to make the most of it. It's like, why? What should I do when I'm here? And why should I do it? It's like, you should make the most of it. Go as hard as you can at the highest good you possibly can because it's worth it. That's it. That's all JBP's trying to say. I think it's what the Bible's trying to say. And I think part of what the Bible specifically is trying to say is like, and the way that looks is like the ultimate level of self-sacrifice. And doing like treating others with the most love and respect and whatever, you know.
Yes.
And then self-sacrifice. It's the highest degree.
And things will be terrible.
It'll be bad. It'll be worth it.
Yes. That's like part of the Christ-like nature is like they torture him, you know? It's like, you're not Christ, so you won't get tortured like Christ, I don't think. I think that's what part of what he's telling the brothers when he's like...
That's why I like the book of Job, too. He gets like tortured to a degree, you know what I'm saying? And he's still like, no.
Being extremely virtuous?
Never. Yeah. Never. Yeah, for being virtuous, for real.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, the devil, I guess, we haven't read it, but I'm pretty sure the premise is like the devil, more or less, is arguing the fact that like the only reason that he's so chippity and uppity and spiritually devout
walking with some drip.
Fucking dripping a stoot on my ass. He's swagging on me. Because you're blessing him, dog. That's it. That's the only reason. That's it. It's because you're letting him score 40 a game. If he wasn't scoring 40 a game, he wouldn't rock with you. He wouldn't wear your jersey. He was like, oh, fuck you, bitch. I guess, I don't know. So then he fucks Job. But then he blesses him at the end. You know?
You could have kept going. Be like, we'd have animated that. That would have been that dope.
Yeah, yeah.
That was an awesome story.
Come
you were
on, G
painting.
Dub, let's go.
Yeah.
Just Job swagging on the table,
Yeah.
stunting on him.
With like a really nice robe or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, you feel me.
I
But
think that's part of the premise of his
That's
story
what-
too.
so I like that the part where it's like virtuousness and extreme punishment were like paralleled, because that's what I'm trying to point at. I think that's what they say when you decide to commit your heart to Christ. Like you're gonna feel the new level, new devils, because it's like the problems get harder on you because you're getting closer to the truth. Because it's like, what does that mean? When I believe in Jesus, life is gonna get harder on me. It's like, what are you pointing to? You know what I'm saying? Why would that even happen? That's a question. It's like, because spiritual warfare is real. I don't know, because you're getting closer to the truth, so the Matrix has to like prop itself up more to try to keep you retained in here as you free yourself from your earthly bonds.
Yeah, trying to keep you on the down low, trying to keep you down here, man.
Yeah, I think I don't know why I would do that. Entropy, or it's truly a Matrix that wants us like blue pilled, you know?
Yeah, I think it might come from, I don't know, maybe also control. They want control of the future, predictable outcomes, predictable people.
Ah,
You know,
yeah.
keep us simple, keep us down here, keep us entertained.
Oh, whoa. That's a thought, right? I guess if it's like, even if it's just a predictive analytical AI program, it would still gear the simulation towards less energy output, more predictability.
Yeah,
It might not be like a person who has like a desired outcome, even. It could just be the way a machine operates, you know?
might be costly to have all these free-minded people.
But you just glitch your way in there. You just like, eventually it just like assigns you to a different folder. Lucky person.
Yeah,
I'm sick of dealing with this fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can't explain the code that comes through here. I need like, okay, I have a folder of people with similar problems. I call them lucky people. Or like, this person keeps pushing for money. It's like, I'm just going to push this person into rich person folder. And some people's lives just flip like that, you know? Like you study law for a long time and you're like, you think you're like being a lawyer doing the bar exam, but really you're like sending a specific code output into the algorithm of like the Matrix, whatever,
life itself.
of life itself.
Okay.
And it's like, you're not that. And so it like pushes against that. And as you attain more identity, like, no, hold on, I've been studying law for like 4 years. Like, I'm a fucking person of the law. This is what I do. And it's like, no, you're the fucking person that was a volleyball player that didn't make it in college, but played at the D2 and had that bad breakup. And you're like, no, I'm not. Like, I look different. I feel different. Every day I'm a different person. And then eventually life just like has to give you new code. It's like, okay, this is the code that we have to process this. Now you can have it.
Yeah, it's like manifesting to a degree, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
idea is that you have to like, more or less push yourself into a thing that you're not until you are that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because on some level, like there's a system that is trying to process you. And it's like, that's not you. Like it'll send one line of code to stop you. That's easy. But eventually that becomes costly too. And it just writes new code for you. But I think that's why there's the resistance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But that's the whole thing here, is that you can send the new code over and over and over and over and over, and then it will have to like shift you. And I think sometimes people are just like, successful people are trying to point at that, and that's, I don't know, that's like kind of a conspiracy weird way to look at it, you know? But we brought up the Matrix, and then it makes sense in that realm.
Yeah, yeah.
And it could be as simple as that, I guess, you know?
Yeah, it's trying to get control, people, because when no one knows what the future holds exactly, you know, we're all dealing with that too. We don't know exactly. We're trying to make our sacrifices today so that the future is like better for us.
Yeah, we're talking about Job. We got far off. So with Job, though, the thing that Job is tight, he holds it down, and then like gets to the other side.
Holds it down no matter what.
It's hard, man.
That's it. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
And then all of that back to like, why did he do that? It's like, because it's worth it. It's like the most worthy thing. Like, he is worthy. It's like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Well, I think that, so then I'm talking to this kid and I'm like, should I bring up Job? You know?
Okay, okay.
And, I think I just say something like, eventually, like, at one point you're going to look at yourself and say, that's who I am. And that's what I did, you know? But that exists every day for me. Like, and not only that, but I'm like my whole personality is built on this idea that it's like a worthy thing. Like I was like, it's become identity is ultimately the thought I should have gotten to with him, but I had it later because I'm trying to be like, it's just like what I do now. Like I and also like, I wouldn't betray who I am at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's who I am so much. It would be weird for me not to. Like, I can't even imagine a reality where I'm not doing this, you know? and I was trying. I think I lost him. I just left it at like it becomes who you are. And he was like, "All right, bet, bro," and like walked off.
Yeah.
But it was a weird conversation to have at work. And then
That's what's up.
pulled up with the crazy hezzy prayer the next day, and I was like, "I don't know what's going on here, man. I'm just trying my hardest.
Just out here. That's it.
Just trying my hardest."
That's it. Dude, it was like we had a moment yesterday. We went to Rosario's,
Yeah.
the new one or whatever. I guess they moved locations downtown.
Okay.
It's in a bigger spot now. It's nice. It's huge. But
Nice.
we went down there. It was like we didn't even, or I guess or the wife had forgotten that it was her aunt's birthday. So like Saturday night, she's like, "Oh yeah, we're going to Rosario's tomorrow." So okay, heard. And then just good little Mexican food, had some mole. It was fucking badass, man. It was good. It's
Really?
like savory, spicy chocolate chicken. It's like the sauce that comes on the A5.
What was the chicken like?
It was just like
Tell me about this dish.
marinated. It was like not a whole chicken, but it was boneless, and it was like maybe chicken breast. I want to say it was white meat for sure.
So it was like a chicken breast in the middle of the shits.
Yeah, it was like a chicken breast covered in the mole sauce and like some rice and beans.
You sliced it up or what?
You could like shred it with your fork, pretty much.
Well, wait,
It was fire. It was gas.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, it was funny too because the little one was asking us about like what's your favorite Mexican food, and I was like, shit, I don't know. It's a good question.
That sounds really good.
That's a good question. Yeah, the mole is fire, and
Have
I
you
think
ever said
because
there-
I said that I was like, or that was one of my responses as far as like what's your favorite Mexican food. And I was like, well, I love enchiladas. They're fucking super versatile. There's so many different kinds. Enchiladas are the bomb, dude.
Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, they're fucking fire. They're the two-way player. But I was like, I've never had like a true mole. I don't think. And then we went to Rosario. I was like, oh shit, nice mole. I want to try this shit. And they had like mole enchiladas too. And I was like, oh, I need enchiladas. That's a knock at the regular. But we went, and then it was we went to, it's in downtown San Antonio, so not a lot of parking. You know what I'm saying? In their particular parking lot for that restaurant itself, there's maybe like 12 spots, maybe 15. And then it's like downtown, so you have to go find parking somewhere or park on the street. And then we were driving around, we saw a parking lot, and there's like $5 parking all day. It's like, oh hell yeah, let's go. Pulled in, about to pay. It's like $17. I was like, oh, what the fuck, dude? Bastards. I don't know if it's like they forgot or are they being assholes.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh fuck, I already parked, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna pay it. Yeah, someone did do that. I saw someone do that.
They paid 17.
Yeah.
And then wait, hold on. Okay. And then what happens?
Then we pull out. We're like, all right, fuck this. We're not doing this. And then we're just gonna go drive around again. And then we passing the Rosario's parking lot.
Oh, I thought you parked there and then this was happening to you.
Huh?
Like they didn't try to pull the trick on you?
No. Oh, what do you mean?
Like 5 to 17?
Yeah. No, yeah. We pulled in. We parked there, and then
Oh,
we
and
were
then they
about to
just
pay.
said, no, it's 17.
Yeah. No, there was no kiosk. It was just a little QR code. But there was somebody else, like another truck of a family who was also going to Rosario's.
I'm following you now.
Yeah. We both pulled in. We both are assuming it's $5. We both find out it's not $5.
Got it.
And we're just like, ah, fuck. And then they ended up biting the bullet. And
Okay.
I was like, fuck that bullet. That bullet can eat my cock. I'm gonna fucking press my luck, Cotton. I'm going for it. No deal. And then, no deal, Howie. No deal. And then we're just creeping up next to the Rosario's parking lot. And then it's like literally the first spot is open.
Ah, yo.
This fucking hold my dick, Marshawn, dog.
Yo.
It was great. And then then we were they're passing all the food. It was like a 20 top. It was like a 20 top we had. It was probably close to 20 people, if not a little bit more. And then I'm sitting in the middle, and then Cece sitting, or her aunt sitting across from me, and then they're passing out the food. And then me and the wife, and then maybe a couple of us were like gonna pray. And then where it's like group prayer, y'all. I'm gonna bless the food, y'all. And then just fucking ripped that shit, dog. Just ripped it.
Nice. Let's
Kel
go.
Ripton Jr., dog. Just 30 seconds of heat.
Yeah.
Just a quick 8 of bars.
Yeah. Yeah, it just happens, bro.
Yeah. It's like the more you do it, the better you get, of course, with anything. And it's just like I have a couple things that are like go-to standard like reloads and freestyling, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like prayer freestyling, more or less.
Dude, I told that kid, and part of when I was talking to him, I'm like, I'm also a musician, which I'm like, I freestyle. I used to freestyle a lot, and I'm not. It's a weird correlation, but if I'm in there like freestyling, but I don't have to rhyme, and I don't have to like. It's just like
build with cadence or have to worry about a beat drop or any of that shit.
Yeah, no, it's super. It's like
It's
playing
acapella,
like basketball by yourself, dribbling on the sidewalk versus playing like in a game. You know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's a little more pressure for some people than that, but I was trying to point to the same thing.
Yeah,
It's like freestyling to some degree.
for sure, dude. That's 100% what it is.
Yeah, you're generating
You're
the
just
thoughts
jumping
like
in there.
on the fly.
Yeah, more or less. And you're just like asking, just trying to be open too, just trying to let the. So we're doing with podcasts, just fucking open it up. I think
Yeah.
that's what most people are trying to do when they're having genuine conversation with someone. You can tell when like two people are having a genuine conversation with each other. And you can tell whenever you are in a conversation with somebody and they're trying to fucking sell you something. Or you're like Steve was talking about last time when you're in like a fucking timeshare. It's like, dude, this guy is just a fucking prick, bro. I don't want to have any business to do with you, bro. You suck. You suck so hard, dude. You fucking suck. You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, having to deal with that.
I've never been in one. But yeah, Steve's recount is just like exactly what I would expect.
Yeah, right. Because they have to make some kind of play.
Yeah, it's all psychological. It's all psyops the whole time from start to finish. They're gonna hold you for 6 hours. Promise you, I don't know, what do they promise you? Like a $200 voucher or like a free meal
Let's
or
say
something?
it's like I feel like it's got to be around like $1,000,
Like of a promise?
or maybe like $500 value, something. Because people,
Something to pull you in for, and they know it.
yeah,
And they know.
that's what I'm saying. It's like more like $1,000
Okay,
for like
yeah.
3 hours of your time. You're gonna get, but it's in the form of like trips and comps and this and that. You get to stay a weekend here and there. So,
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, they pull you in for 3 hours and they're just gonna start nice.
I've heard they're longer.
Yeah, me too. But Steve's was quick, right?
He said 3?
I think he said I think he said it was like 2.5,
Oh, okay.
but I could be mistaken.
Because my mom has done a couple of them for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I remember her telling me. I think they ended up buying one. Because she's like, I've been to enough of these to know when I see a good deal. Like, Mom, they fucking got you. They got you. In the long run, they got you. It's like, yeah, let's keep on knocking on the door, and then we'll present him a little fucking rookie offer that is a good deal relative to the fucking big boy offers we're throwing out there.
Yo, that's gnarly. That's
I don't even know the perks and benefits or the usage or anything. I think she's used it before. I don't know. I'm assuming it was a good deal though. Regardless, whatever. But she's done a couple, and she's mentioned that they are like fucking 6 hours, dude.
6 hours.
Yeah, South Park makes fun of it in an episode for sure. It's an older episode, but it's like a 6 hour ordeal.
Okay, so
Three's like a little bit more manageable. It's like a fucking long movie.
I love what
That's
we're
a
building.
long movie.
Manageable,
But 6,
different.
that's a shift. That's a shift. It's a shift.
It's a work shift. It's a work shift at a bookshop. You know, you're gonna have to. You got to put the polo on. You know, put on your work face, gel your hair back. You're gonna have to fucking hello. You have to do the thing. You know.
6 hours of sitting through a fucking presentation of someone trying to sell you something that's like $10,000 that you have no intention of buying.
So that's the gamble. That's the situation we've built. $1,000 for 6 hours of your time. With if you lose the game, you pay 10,000, 10x. It's like, how would you not do that? I would kind of do that. I think I do it for fun if you presented it more like that. You fortify your mind training.
Yeah, be fortify your mind. It'd be that's good. That's good. That should be good for people who are trying to build up their like confrontation stat.
Yeah.
It's like sit through one of those.
Yeah.
And don't give in. You know,
Yeah.
sit with like one of your homies who's a hard motherfucker and who just not shook and just stone cold. Just
Soak that
stone
in.
cold and just soak in his energy and just sit in the pocket of uncomfortability of just being, oh, I want to be nice to this guy, but he's asking for $10,000. Like it's easy to turn that down. Like that's easy to say no to, or it should
Right.
be. It should be.
It should be, but it's like it's a psyop.
It's all a psyop the whole time. That's why they're trying to. That's what they're built on. Their foundation is built on trying to fuck you, or not fuck you over exactly, but trying to overcome that obstacle that is there. Just
Yeah.
like socially, no one out here is trying to write a check right now for $10,000. Maybe after 6 hours of convincing and schmoozing, and I can give you a little bit of this and that, whatever incentive for a room comp or a stay or a voucher, you'll get that at the end, of course.
It's like
get it at the
Airbnb's
end.
rich cousin, dude. It's like timeshares. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like $10,000 to own a house for like 4 weekends a year,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yo,
And 10,000 might be light. I think Steve was saying it might be higher,
they could be higher,
like
bro.
20 grand,
They be trying to hit you, dog.
50 grand.
If they gonna hit you, dog,
Uh-huh.
one big lick. By the time you realize this was a dumb idea, they're in Tennessee. Do it to another sucker.
Just going down, bro.
Shani, I don't know. It might have been a good deal.
It
I
could have been a
believe
good
you.
deal. I'll talk to her more about it next time I see her. Next time I
I
talk
love
to her, I was
Aspen.
like, "Hey, I was just talking to Matt about some shit on the podcast about timeshares." Like, Is it worth it? Like, what's, like after you've had it, how long? When did you buy it? I forgot when she got it. She's had it for a couple of years now, I think.
Yeah.
Long enough to
Yeah.
at least have the opportunity to travel to it a couple times. So we'll see. TBD.
It's funny that your question was it worth it? It's like that is kind of like a deciding factor, delineating factor.
That's
for
the factor for life.
why we do anything, you
That's
know?
what the factor for life.
Yeah.
With the sacrifices justified.
Oh,
That's it. That's it. That's
oh,
life.
yeah.
That's life. For having that thought coming like in that weird when you're about to go to sleep, laying down versus fully out, logged out of the game into the other conscious realm. Like in between that transition, I remember just thinking about that. I can't remember if I was just like thinking about it or if I was on Joe Rogan talking about it in my mental. But either way, just the idea that why are we doing things? Like it's worth it. Or like, and what does that even mean? What does something mean to be worth it? It's like the sacrifices were justified. It was the transaction was balanced. There's harmony there, at least subjectively. I could settle with that. I'm good.
If everyone receives that same level of subjectivity, I think it's objectivity.
Oh,
Oh.
Wait, one more time.
It's crazy because you're like, in my world, I'm like, in the world.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? There is harmony, you know? Like, it's not subjective harmony.
Yeah.
If it's truthfully...
Yeah, facts.
If
Yeah.
everybody feels that same level
From,
of
like,
subjectivity.
Yeah, from like the individual to like the family, community, country, world, whatever.
Right. Some things just like we agree on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then once you get, if full, or especially if it pulls the same emotion out of everybody, and we like that happens, you know, I think that's what happens when people pray. Like sometimes people pray like for someone who's sick, and like there's a moment where like they're like, we disagree, or more or less like build this energy up.
Wait, what? Who disagrees?
Like the people praying for the person. And like, you know, when I was almost like going through a rough surgery, a lot of people were praying for me, and they were kind of saying like, no, like don't take, because like it feels like you're taking this kid from us, you know. So damn, what were we just
feels like we're
talking
losing the battle.
Yeah, right. So they're praying like a different, you know, in the name of like God, who is like the generator of the code, you know, like don't do this.
Okay, yeah.
And and what were we just
Objective
talking about?
harmony, like from the lower level all the way outwards.
So then if a community and a group of people say like subjectively this is not what's happening right here, we believe in this, like it becomes objective reality in that sense too. I think when people pray, they can kind of do that same kind of thing where if enough people agree that's reality, even when it's not reality, it'll become reality. And you see that in politics too. If enough people agree this is reality, you watch it become reality to some degree, you know?
Yeah.
It has reach at that point.
Yeah.
And that's a weird thing that happens, yo. But it plays into the code thing we're talking about, just like submitting code to the matrix, but then also just like the nature of what is like who's the best rapper? Is that completely subjective, or does one person at some point like win and it's more objective than subjective in reality? You know, like as far because it's hard to. Like maybe we'll never know, but I think that the bridge between subjective and objective is kind of it's closer than we think, you know, because we have input, we make reality.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, you could be dramatically off with like if someone's like, I think fucking Lamar or who is it? What's his name? The ball,
LaMelo Ball,
the dad,
LeVar Ball,
LeVar, right?
Yeah,
he's the best player of all time. Best player of all time, hands down.
He really believes it.
And like legitimately believes it. If someone legitimately believes that, then like everyone else who has access to the same data set of available NBA players to choose from are going to say, you're fucking off your rocker, friend. You're not even close.
What are you?
You're in an insane asylum as far as we're concerned in this realm of reality. In NBA reality, you're in a fucking insane asylum.
Leonardo DiCaprio smoking cigarettes.
You're crazy. You're cracked.
Yeah.
You're correct. So there is something like you can be just so far off with your own subjective opinions of things that like we kind of deem you in a psycho, like a crazy person, like a psycho. Like but the place for those people, we put them in a room in a cage. Like, yeah, some Shutter Island shit, dog. So there is an objective reality that we all are agreeing is happening.
I think one thing that all of that points to potentially is harmony, like you said, like that harmony is real, and we do gravitate towards harmony because it's like,
whenever the sacrifices are justified, it's worth it.
Yes, for whatever. That's the branch down. I guess it makes sense. You want your body wants what's it called, where you just want to be like at stasis.
Equilibrium.
Yeah, equilibrium and
Yeah,
homeostasis.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're trying to like exist in that zone as much as possible. That's why like a uncomfort zone exists. So that's part of the reason like we fight entropy and shit like that, you know. And so,
Mm-hmm.
but that's going on, I think, at a broader level too. Like that's what's going on here is that we will harmony is like gravity. So even at this core level, we were like, harmony is that a little like a little whiff of harmony? I'm chilling, but like also when we get down to like just ideas and when someone has that kind of crazy opinion, it's like a disharmony. Like we all hear it, we all feel it. Like that's wrong, bro. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I
Mm-hmm.
can't agree with you. Like
Yeah, we feel it.
yeah, it'd be much easier to be like, I like that player a lot, or like yes but no,
I
but
see your case.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like fucking Michael Jordan,
Yeah,
like Kobe Bryant,
we can
like
work with
LeBron
that.
James. I'm like, okay, I see where you're coming from. I see your case. I could read that book, and like I could follow it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It makes sense.
So one, I think
But yeah, when you get it from what you're saying,
that's a funny idea too. But the
uh
underlying bigger idea I think that carries that one is that like harmony is just real.
mm.
Maybe that's and then like music sounds good when it's in harmony. Whatever. Like there's a lot of instances where we like it.
Yeah, right.
But I think that I don't think we factor that in. You know, that really what we're trying to do here is just like make worthy sacrifices that keep harmony.
Yes, facts, dude. We love that.
Yeah.
We love that. That's what we're striving for. It's like the perfect garden. It's like as good as we can do here.
Mm.
As good as we can do here.
Yeah.
That's it. Because we all have to. We're all just people, man. We're all just dealing with that shit.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own stories. Everyone got their own obligations, their families. You don't even choose that. You know, their upbringings. Like fuck, man. Everyone has different starting points, but we're all dealing with that core issue of being a human, not knowing what the fuck to do here,
Yeah.
having to figure out what's a worthy sacrifice for me.
Yeah.
What do I enjoy doing? What would be a worthy sacrifice? Because there's no don't make sacrifices. That's not an option. It's like that's it. You have to make. You got to do something. You're here. I guess that's kind of what Joe Rogan's been talking about when he talks about like universal basic income (UBI) or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Totally.
idea of giving everybody it's like a paycheck to sustain their life, get food, pay for water and gas, whatever. But then then it's like, okay, well, what are you gonna do with your time? There's something there, and we're dealing with that now, regardless. We're always dealing with that. But I guess it might be a little bit. I don't know. Would you think it'd be easier than it is now if you had universal basic income to like pursue a passion or pursue a something else? If you had not as much of a time pressing obligation to your regular got to keep the lights on job.
Man, it's a complicated
I think
question.
that might open it up, actually, Joe. I think that might open it up.
For us, for sure. Part of the thing is it's very difficult to monetize a craft unless you're extremely lucky. That's just reality.
Mhm.
And I can say those words and you can say I'm extremely lucky and I fucking get it. I do. So like part of you might just be like, no, that doesn't even factor in decision making. That it might be difficult to make money off of this. I think I can do it.
We don't need to make money off of it. Yeah, UBI.
Right, right. But I guess that's the thing is like at that point the investment would be, are you just gonna live on enough to get by, or are you gonna try to like progress further into having money kingdomville? Then it's like a split decision between job, career ladder, or pursue your passion at UBI.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, we could just take UBI and hoop because we've already like gotten to a point where
Established everything.
Right.
Where we're trying to go, what we're doing.
but you got to factor risk in at some point. I mean, like if you can totally be like you're good, it's not a risk. You have UBI, rent's paid. I can eat ramen. I'm cooking. We're good. Then fucking yeah, dude, hoop. There's gonna be a lot of hoopers that come out of that swamp. You know what I'm saying? Those are people that fucking really take us probably artistically to another level if you give them that much fucking time.
If you give people that much time to just be creative
Yeah,
and
dude.
expressive.
That will manifest
We might go through
a
renaissance.
Right, bro.
We might go through a renaissance.
That's how something like that
in
happens
2050 or
culturally.
some shit. 2050 renaissance, 2054.
You're a genius, dude. That's revolutionary. That's innovative thinking right there, for sure. I hadn't.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. So I'm with that. I think so. We would be able to do well with that. But would it be good for society is another question, right?
Yeah, because it's hard to find purpose. And
Yeah.
people, I guess, what the argument Joe's proposing is like, if you give people UBI, take away their jobs, and then let people find their identity, their self-worth, their value in doing something and being good at something and providing a positive benefit to society and communities, being a barber or whatever. But it's like we don't need, or being, I guess, I don't know, there's definitely different levels of like
Oh shit! I'm tripping.
jobs that might be might be lost in this, and like whenever AI takes over some shit, like
Yeah.
we don't need people at kiosks or at fucking McDonald's. We don't need people. We just order on the app, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. At some point, we're gonna that's gonna. I'm not sure how how far it's gonna reach, but that's gonna happen. Like that same metaphor of like a McDonald's worker, like the AI is gonna do that for a lot of other shit too. I'm not even sure like the true depth and like the width of that strike. We can ask ChatGPT. It's like, how much are you gonna fuck us up? It's like, oh, you're done. Like these jobs are all obsolete.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
they probably tell us like we might kill a lot of jobs.
That's what I was trying to make that argument about AI the other day, and then
People find their value in those jobs sometimes, but given the chance to have their own free time, they might be able to pursue something else. Is what we're proposing, kind of.
yes, I see what the bargain you're making is
Yeah,
that
but some of those people might have too much of their identity in that job. It might be like too far gone, I guess is what Joe was
Nah,
saying, or not be
well-
able to find purpose, or be a little bit more lost.
he follows that with take mushrooms.
Yeah,
But
there we go.
I think what he's pointing at is like you can
I precede that would take much. Either way, I'm with you. I'm with you, Joe.
because it's just difficult. He's saying people won't win that fight. That's what he's saying. It's like I don't a lot of he's not saying like people are too far stuck in their identity to change. It's impossible. He's saying like they won't win the fight. And I think we could win that fight. You know, I've seen myself win that fight, and that's part of why I myself go towards a brand. It's worth it because I'm like, it's possible that you could rewire yourself more into the person that you'd like to be rather than the person you're predisposed to be. And
Bars.
and that shit's important to me to express because I was in the position of I'm in the predisposed and I don't want to be here anymore. And it seemed like magic. That's what Jordan Peterson's talking about, magical transformation.
Yep. Different game now. Different. I view the game differently.
Yes.
The rules have changed. The aim has changed, or like the goal, or whatever. Like the different dungeon. It's like, okay, now I'm on a different dragon now. It's like or it's a different monster, a demon. Fucking what's that? The Witcher or whatever. Fuck. It's like just different demons.
Yeah.
Or different types of monsters that you have to fight.
That's more what it feels like now as an adult for sure. But juxtaposed also with like Pinocchio is like Geppetto wishes upon a star for Pinocchio to be a real boy because he's a doll. But then it's like magic happens. Like literally becomes a boy. And that is a metaphor for something that happens in your life when you like pursue these things. But then like you said, the demon, like he goes to the belly of the whale. It's like literally the worst thing that could happen happens. And then he's got to rescue his dad even though he's scared, like the thing that gave him life, which I think is like kind of a metaphor. You have to pursue for the ideal that pursued for you to exist. It's like it's almost not even your ideal. And it's like, well, whose ideal is it? And then it's like Jesus Christ. It's like we get pointed to that. So there's like something.
Yeah, the spirit of your father.
Yeah. Like he had to go get his father. It wasn't like optional. He didn't say like, well, I'm a boy now and he's gone, and I guess that was his parting sacrifice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Deuces, pops. Deuces.
thought of a whale.
Oh, it's even a name. Monstro. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah,
Monstro. That's what they call it in Kingdom Hearts, I think. I'm not sure if that's the actual whale's name.
I think
I was
so.
gonna say Dumbo. It's not
that
Dumbo.
canon? No.
Monstro.
yeah.
Yeah.
So all that's what is that pointing to? What is, you know what I'm saying? At this moment, I'm just using it to reflect the magical transformation happens, and that's kind of why like my identity is predicated on preaching that thing, you know,
Preach.
or not preaching. Preaching's weird. Who wants to get preached at?
Preach.
But be a witness to that. There we go.
Yeah. I testify.
So UBI would help me in this position for sure. But other people, would they find, okay, so yeah, so what's their thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened in your life at more of a core level that you could serve a purpose to, that you could serve, that you could steward? So an idea, like, could you pursue an idea that would get you there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is ultimately yes. But we are kind of like, it seems like more or less like manicured into the matrix. And they want, and that's like, I'm not trying to be weird. I'm just saying like, we want to just be who we are. We want to suffer our own habits, you know?
Mm-hmm. Just be here for the day. Or just get through the day.
Survive.
Yeah. Just survive.
Yeah, totally.
How do you plan to survive?
Totally.
Facts.
Man, are we too deep for the intro? Do we need to wrap it up?
Yeah, I think we have maybe like 15 minutes left.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, we could do another probably like 15, 20.
I love this, bro.
Yeah,
We're
dude.
cooking. Sorry, we're out there
UBI.
today. Sorry,
We're
dude.
cooking.
Started with
No, we're good.
Now we're
we
gonna-
started. We just transitioned, dog.
yeah.
It's just one string of thoughts. It's just one conversation.
Yeah.
Talking about poop. No talking about God.
Finishes. Touch Job. Tell him it's worth it.
It's worth it, man. UBI, I think. So yeah, Joe's. I guess because if you're a barber, are we gonna be able to take that away? I guess, right? Is that like a field of profession that is in danger of having AI encroach on it?
I think the biggest argument for jobs that will last is things predicated on subjectivity.
Yeah, like
So
art, right?
yeah.
It's art for sure.
if you have to judge it like, do I think this is good? then those will probably last because I don't think AI is going to be very good at making what we deem good for a while.
Not quite
It's
yet.
like, how would they know? You know what I'm saying? Trends change, people change, fashion changes. We see something, we like it. No one expected to like Timothy Chalamet. Now he's like a heartthrob or something. He's like a fucking skinny white kid.
Wonka.
Yeah, bro. And now he cooks. You know what I'm saying?
Now he's cooking.
Yeah.
He's cooking.
So like, I think things just happen. You know what I'm saying? It kind of like redirects maybe what was the trend. You know? And how would a robot keep up with that? I mean, that if AI's doing that kind of shit, we're pretty super fucked.
Dude, who knows? I think who knows? AI is pretty crazy. AI is pretty fucking crazy, man. You can make some crazy shit with AI,
Yeah.
and it's just getting better too.
I
But
just
I
saw
guess
the
like
future.
in the metaphor of like a barber, an AI barber, like or like a fucking they just I don't know how would they even do that? Like have a fucking robot actually do it, or put like a helmet on, and it just fucking does that shit for you. I don't know, but I think in that realm, you might be able to. I don't know. Maybe barbers could use that because you could definitely just use AI. Like Jordan Peterson was talking about it on one of his podcasts. Someone asked him about large language models, LLMs or whatever I think that's what they call them. And it's like I think Grok and ChatGPT, and there's a couple other different ones that are the popular meta of forefront of AI interfaces to use to research things and to help you study. And he's like, JVP is like, they are incredibly helpful. Incredibly helpful. I use them every day.
I remember where I was when I heard him say that, and it made me laugh.
Right? It's
Yeah.
just like, it's just a tool. So if, you can help. You can definitely use it for inspiration. That's the thing. If like I think I don't know if AI itself would be able to. I guess to kind of answer your question, like with that in mind, I don't think because humans do that. Humans like to fucking literally just go the opposite way, just to go the opposite way. Sometimes we like to be like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to do that.
Rebelling is dope.
Yeah, well, it's like it just happens, you know. I think it's just like a constant theme that's occurred through generations. It's like whenever people are in their 13 to 18 year range, like they're maybe trying to step out of what their parents are doing or what other people are doing commonly, trying to not listen to mainstream radio music or whatever. And part of that exploration process of like finding out your personality and kind of who you are is like I don't know, experimentation, and like you're just trying to figure out what you align with, what makes sense. But I lost myself in that thought. What were we talking about before that?
You were getting into.
Damn, we're talking about something. We're gonna end that bitch.
You gotta edit this part out. We'll just leave it for
No,
the
it's
drop.
fine. You leave
All
it for
right,
the
fine.
people, bro.
I see Joe do it all the
It's
time.
raw.
Yeah, I'm trying to
It'll
try
come
it
back. It always does.
Yeah. One thought that I had that I was keeping on the burner because I lost it, but then I found it
Yeah.
was that I think the third and final thought from harmony is real. It's like harmony scales beautifully. Like when instruments are an incredibly good harmony with each other, it manifests as beautiful to us. And I think that that's one thing that is like that's like a benevolent nature of God or the universe is that like the more harmony that exists, the more beautiful things will be. And that's another reason why it's worth it.
Yeah.
Another thing that it points to is it would be the expression of life that you would exist in would be the most beautiful possible. The moments will be beautiful. I think we all don't you want to cry and say that's odd, like don't you want to feel that?
Beautiful, yeah.
Right. If that was happening with your life all the time, like with the story of your life was such written that you were like, oh my, this is hidden, dog. This is hidden. Like everything kind of like making sense and foretelling and foreshadowing. And it's like, I think that's what we all, that's why movies are super dope because we all kind of long for that, like subtly in our mind for our life to matter, for it to like make sense, for the sacrifices to be justified.
Facts.
And then the more, then you could root that back to trying to be in harmony with like your truest who you are and trying to exist on that level so you have harmony with yourself and then finding that compromise with the other players so that you have harmony with them and then in line with your tasks and responsibilities, then things will beautify.
Yeah.
Because if it didn't, then it would be like, is it worth it? You know?
Yeah. You'll feel it. You'd feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be known to you. I think I was tracing back the thought I was just losing, but it was we were talking about the people like to rebel. Through 13
Yeah,
to
there it
18.
goes.
People like to rebel. And that's like
catch.
a naturally human thing, and I don't think AI can really do that.
Oh, yeah.
You can't really emulate that. It can't emulate unless you program it to do that.
That's the percentage rate, right?
Yeah, it's like at a certain percentage rate, it's like let's just do a random 0.9% every once in a while. It's gonna fucking just do some rebellious
Or it just
opposite shit.
knows like 30% of all population between this age group at 20% rate of this, depending on location and like fucking DNA and who you are and stuff like that. You're this percentage likely to have this percentage of rebellers, which in the meta plays out at scale at 4x because it's just different. And different is novel, and that plays into the factor.
Yeah.
So then they're getting 30% of radio airtime at 4 times scaled what was popularity. And then it calculates for that when it makes your radio fucking AI playlist. And it's like, okay, we need some of that shit that's not really good, but it's on the new and everybody's kind of into it. The kids like it. Boom. And then the club goes up because it's novel. People are like, oh, this is what they're listening to. Okay, I see what you. Oh wow, they're really getting down to that. This is it, huh? Like that's the fucking. It could predict that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it does now at some point.
I ain't gonna represent, baby. Boom, boom, boom. Do no wrong.
Where'd that come from? Where'd that come from? You know? So yeah, that's the thing. Can AI do that? Absolutely. But on some level, will they be able to predict like what do we like? What's the rebel thing that we're like that represents me the best, or like they've got the hottest sound, or
It might get there.
So
if we program it, man, it might get there, bro. It's scary. It's scary to think about because we're thinking at this level. There might be
Sure.
other people who are thinking at this level
Sure.
of who are programming it like on the forefront and like
Yeah,
trying to
true.
make this shit the most real and the most all-encompassing as
They
possible.
have a bigger fucking problem. It's like, what's the best wine? It's like whoever has the best argument. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to, and they might come up with really good arguments for why it's the best, you know? But ultimately, like people, like our boss said, I can taste that bottle you say it's the best, and then I can taste a bottle that I like for different reasons, and I enjoy it more. Like I literally like it better. So it's like you can't tell me that it's the best.
It's better.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't tell me.
It's not in my world for sure. And then the question is he more right than the machine is right? And if more people agree with him, like you're right, that's fucking bullshit. This is really fucking good. Something would happen there, you know? And so that might be something that happens is like you will get a baseline meta and it's AI provided and you have unit basic income and you can be a unit basic bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, bitch.
Or you'll be doing the rebel stuff, which is
Could be a real boy.
Yeah. There's just AI rebels that are like, hey, fuck the mainstream, you know what I'm saying? Let me get you a quick fade. But like it's just so much cheaper. It's just so much cheaper.
Yeah.
That would be what people would argue.
Done in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Done in 30 minutes.
I mean, what am I, an idiot? Yeah, maybe sit through a shave with some guy whose arm's shaking and my neck's right there.
He just fucking smoked a cigarette. He's like, get you, dog. Or like an AI tattoo artist.
Right.
Ooh.
Now you're in there,
Now
dog.
I'm in there, dog.
These are the questions.
Ooh. If you could just make the picture and it's like a fucking dope picture and the AI generated, then the AI just has the fucking pen or the whatever, the ink, the needle, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I'm
You
with
know what I'm saying? The tattoo gun.
So that's going to be a revolution.
And it inks them up. Híjole, papa. Industry gone.
What will become hard is getting hand-done tattoos. It'll be dope. And that idea of it's cooler if a human did it, but it costs more money. That will become the new capitalism. It might be a psyop for everything.
Humanism.
Yeah.
You humanist. We're the humanist party.
Yeah. It's like, well, your uncle's wealthy enough to be a humanist. I mean, my family can't afford to be a humanist. We got to eat the government cheese. It's going to be like a whole fucking...
Yeah, we got to get the Hell Country Fair, dog. We got to get that shit.
Right, it already exists. It already exists. But do I think... That might be one thing that saves us, though, is that in industries that we built on humanism. Like, it sounds better when someone does it. All the music is like pretty good nowadays, but like there's a real person making music that's fucking amazing. The fact that he makes music that's as good as these AI make music is like cool in and of its own self. So it'll like garner more. Everything will be dope. Or
Things are
you'll
going to be
basic bitch.
strange in 20 years, bro. In 30 or 20 years.
That could be the future that we write in Descendants. I feel like we should do a future because it's fun to imagine. People like that shit.
Yeah.
That's a cool universe for things to be predicated. Just AI like maximized and it's gonna get maximized. That's the thing too. We started talking about. I'm like, I don't want to be like someone who's scared, but I think it just makes sense logically that AI is going to get rid of a lot of jobs.
AI is going to be crazy. It already is. We've been talking about it for a long time. It's crazy, and it's the rate at which it is getting crazier is getting faster and faster. So it's already crazy and getting crazier, faster every day, and it's been like that for the last 3 years, 2 years, at least for sure. It's just like, yeesh. Yeah. Joe's like, I got a 60-40, 60-40 chance we make it out of this one.
Hey, we're
It's
good.
like, damn, bro, 40% chance. We're just like
Cooked.
done. Yeah, we're just done as a human species.
Joe's like, every once in a while, a comet's got to hit the dinosaurs. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
Jesus coming back before that happens, dog. I'm fine with that, bro.
yes,
This is
I
the end of
believe that.
times. End of times, bro. He's coming. I'm down for that too.
I'm down for that. Sometimes I feel like it could be any day now. I think maybe that's what you're supposed to feel. I don't know.
I wonder how long they've thought that.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know, man. AI is scary for sure.
I have one. This is my border of order and chaos right here for AI because it's really crazy, right? But how are they using it? I think it will shrink departments, but like in what literal way, right? But I think like the furthest it could reach right now is, do you think a McDonald's could be completely run by AI operated systems? No people. If they put the money into it.
I think with a limited menu, yes.
That's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
See, if they could proof of concept that and then in 10 years have rolled out 50 of them.
Like we just have a basic McDonald's. We have 5 items and like a couple other things. You know, say 5 main things to order, a couple other things, all automated. You don't have to have any workers. You pay 0 overhead for labor. You pay one person $20 an hour to come and clean it or make sure everything's working properly. Check it once a day for an hour, 2 hours a day. That eliminates 90% of your labor, 95% of your labor, like that, for 95% of your stores. Well, I guess also the question is then trade off of profit versus like the limited menu, and then also it's like client
yes.
or not client, but you know, say whatever the social feedback from the society of people. It's like, okay, McDonald's sucks now. Fuck McDonald's. They lose everything. It's like, oh shit, okay, we lost like 30% of market share. That's not worth it.
I'm not loving it.
It's not. No, I'm hating it. You guys suck.
You guys are terrible.
Yes, but I think you could with a limited menu. You could make it happen and make it profitable.
Yeah, someone's gonna have to be the first company that gets bloody through the wall too, because then it's gonna be like, well, this is industry standard now. You know what I'm saying? Look what it's. The stock shares of that company are creating ripples in the stock market, and we are a fucking entity.
Watch, that's gonna happen, guaranteed. Bet it's gonna happen in the next what year are we in? 25?
Yeah,
in the next year.
Dude, what I'm saying.
I think by 2026, there's gonna be a fully automated AI McDonald's you can go to. Just one. They're gonna start with one.
True dollar menu.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for labor costs.
Oh fuck, dude! They come back with you're fucked. Everyone's fucked.
Dude, right?
Everyone's cooked.
Give me 3
dude.
McChickens on the fly.
Yo, oh dude, they just have McChickens and McDoubles, and hot and spices,
And like small fries.
and fries,
That's it.
and nuggets.
That's it.
5 things. That's your core 5, and then you got some drinks. Those are easy.
You just gotta not fuck those up.
Those are easy. Yeah.
Dude. Oh yeah, drinks, no problem.
No, yeah, just fucking put it there, or you don't have to hit like it registers. It hits its own button. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It puts the cup there, it hits its own button, and it fills it up. It puts a lid on it.
Yeah.
And
Your
then
system would just have to be
delivers
solid.
delivers it out.
Some of them might not be solid.
There's
and
a way to
they'll
do
make mistakes.
it. There's a way to do it.
Yes.
But I think within the next year, maybe 12 to 18 months, we might see the first fully AI. I guess McDonald's would probably be my guess for the first restaurant to like venture into that, or a fast food restaurant, I guess, to experiment with that.
They feel like they're number one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They're trying to make the most money. They're trying to be the most like ingenuitous, you know what I'm saying? Trying to be a little different.
Yeah.
They have the most wiggle room, I think, too.
True.
You know?
Dude, yeah. So we get there. There it is, right? It's like we just showed that AI can eliminate human jobs like in the blink of an eye. That's just one example of something that I'm like, I think that's going to happen in a year. And then it's like, now it's affecting us. And that's just, I mean, in 10 years, we might feel it. And there's people that'll never feel it because they're in the right job and they're there and they're making their salary and they have a retirement and a pension and they're going to get through their life before this is like completely, I think, shaking up all the job opportunities and industries. So we're good for a while. But it's like, you know, imagine what the car industry went through, because it was like they started making just a few in a factory to like the innovation of the conveyor shaped line, right?
Yeah.
And then having people like Detroit was like predicated on this industry's booming, and we've got these lines and we're just building cars and they're dope and they're awesome and the system works, to like where we are now with making cars. I don't think it's the industry changed so much. And I think that's going to happen for like that, but like all of our jobs. But then the scary thing is like Michigan is like doesn't exist anymore. It's not booming.
Yeah, definitely not to the degree
Right.
back when it was Motor City.
And if that happened to every major city
And
right
they all
now,
left, right? Because it was cheaper to do labor elsewhere to make cars.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like what the thing was?
I think, yeah, we um, as on some level took extra perks to also have our labor be cheaper and sourced in other countries. And so we were like made that exchange, and the government did it to like help our economy. But then at the same time, now all those American jobs were gone. And so I think that if that happened in like 10 of the major 20 cities, it would be weird as fuck, dude.
Mm.
Weird as fuck for life.
Yeah, like the Amazon warehouses get efficient enough to start incorporating AI and they start losing 10, 20, 30, 40% of their workforce across all Amazons across America.
Dude, that's a lot of people working at Amazon.
That's a lot of fucking people, dude.
Yeah.
Amazon has a lot of workers.
And now our job opportunities will be more scarce.
And McDonald's, or same thing happens with them too. If like two or three companies start doing that.
Yeah. What if a Waymo can do a pizza delivery?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that feels more like 10 years away. But that's a solid. You're not getting 10 years is probably here.
Dude,
That's what I'm
10
saying.
years. 10 years might be some crazy shit.
Right. And we'll be fucking 40, bro. We still got to hoop in this life.
We're
You
still
know what I'm
hooping. We're still fucking hooping at 40, dog. We still got 10 years left, baby.
saying? Yeah. We're gonna still be cooking out there like, yo, life got real weird when AI kind of hit, you know?
Uh-huh.
Just like they probably said with the internet, you know?
Yeah, like our kids are like, you know, like like our parents having us in the early 90s, early to mid 90s. It's just like internet was coming available around. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was like new. Emails were fucking new. You got mail. Like that shit was popping. Like they
AOL built a dynasty off
dude,
that.
but the dynasty off that fucking little drop right there, little sound.
Yeah.
You, mail. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Please, I heard it in my head. Needed to hear it out loud.
We are crazy people. But we have we were talking about some stuff.
Dude,
It's just gonna get weird in fucking 10 years. But yeah, our parents seeing us, we're just babies. But then we grew up with the internet, so now your baby, our future babies are gonna be growing up with this AI shit. It's just gonna be normal. In 10 years, 15 years. We have a 12-year-old. She's like growing up with this. I guess she's kind of like us with cell phones, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't there, but now she's gonna see the growth of it and like see it come in and like right around her middle school time. AI is starting to be like, okay, this shit's popping.
Yeah. On the most base level, it's like them just having a laptop that we didn't have as a kid. You know, like they can use it. Yes, you can use a calculator whenever you want. Like you don't actually have to know math like that. Like it's not like a question. You know, because we didn't carry around calculators. You know, but like I think they'll use AI like that, where it's just like they just have like a search engine that actually works crazy. They can literally look up anything at all and have pretty much the answer to everything if they ever have to like. Because school is like questions you don't know the answer to, and you're like the same reason why do I have to learn math if I always have a calculator? It's like that applies to like why do I have to know shit if I can know whatever the fuck like
look it up.
those aren't the worthy things to study anymore. History, are you fucking dumb? What just fucking Thomas Jefferson, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's the ability. The ability's there, but it needs to be enacted. It's like we have so much resource and tool now to fucking scavenge for all the information in the world, but we still need to. I guess there's utility in knowing how to research something or knowing what questions to ask, how to think critically, and then how to. Also, the other thing I'm learning is that like there's I think Jordan Peterson mentions this as well or alludes to this with the large language models. Like it teaches you how to like ask questions or teaches you how to like get to the meat of what you need. You know what I'm saying? How to find the like fuck the minutia. I need to like directly correlate. Like how do I get what's the least amount of words I can use to get the result that I need, the most direct like line of communication I can. Like what do I really want? You know, out of this fucking brainstorming session I can do with this ChatGPT. Like that shit's definitely being used in colleges now and for the past however long it's been out. So like by the time our 12-year-old is going to college, like she'll be probably now and like and I don't think she's using it now per se, but like she definitely will be and like soon. Like and like that's gonna be a normal thing for them. But it's gonna you need to. It's just a tool. It can't be the substitute. That's the thing. It can't be the full substitute for school, I guess, or for information.
Yeah, totally.
I guess it hypothetically could be if you're able to like have the discipline and like maybe if you have some extra guidance to help you figure out what's to study, what's worth knowing, what's like actually going to help you out, like what historical lessons you can take away from certain books or historical figures that can actually help you in your day-to-day life right now, and like definitely like money stuff like finance and accounting and stock markets and how to trade and all or whatever the fuck invest. You can do that shit for sure. But yeah, so school,
No,
The
you're
idea
100%
of
right.
formal school is like almost unnecessary now, but there is some sort of loose handling you need to take care of this tool with.
There's a lot going on there,
Because
right?
AI is crazy,
What kind
man.
of job do you want?
Mm-hmm.
What are the prerequisites for that job? You know, sometimes you have to go to formal education, but regardless, it will be culture is going to be weird,
It's gonna be strange.
super weird.
20 years, 15 years from now. It's already strange now, man.
The thing is,
Hold
it's
on
like
tight.
FIFA decides who is going to win a lot of these cups. It was like there's like a documentary about
Yeah,
it on
right.
Netflix.
I remember we
Yeah,
talked about it a while ago.
yeah, they were like slanting games and letting people the hand of God. You know what I'm saying? Like soccer has been corrupt from time to time, and FIFA was the people that owned like the league and the broadcasting rights and shit like that, and they were the ones corrupting it. But what they were doing on some level was presenting a narrative for a thing that you were watching. And then presenting a narrative for a thing that you're watching is going to be what the culture is already that to you in a subjective lens. It's like there is a narrative that people are like, it's like, I guess everybody likes Drake. The first time he came on the radio, people are like responding positively. They're playing it all the time. It's like, I can hear the song everywhere, you know, I guess people are rocking with this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so there is a narrative of culture.
Like Charlemagne, or whatever his name is. Timothy Charlemagne.
Yeah. Like you just see his podcast all the time? Or like he's the
No.
meta?
Yeah, we're saying like he's an actor now that I know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he's in the meta of pop culture and society.
Okay, yeah. Oh, Chalamet.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Not Charlemagne.
I was like Charlemagne.
No,
He is the
no.
meta podcast for like hip hop, you know.
Okay,
But yeah, Chalamet, right? It just gets presented to you,
Mhm.
and so it's like, I think the AI will do that because FIFA already is doing that. Like the company's just gonna adopt the AI. They're already presenting a narrative to you. Taylor Swift is the best. They're presenting that narrative to you, and then like, are we gonna agree with that? They're just gonna get really good at doing that. So I think it's like, will that happen? Will AI take over our culture and tell us what to do? It's like, yes, absolutely. Businesses already do that. It's like they're just gonna, yeah. It's not a stretch,
Yeah.
and it might not be that dramatic, but I think it might look like, you know. Did you see the fucking? Yeah, I know you've seen it. The movie with the TV show with Michael B. Jordan.
TV show. Michael B. Jordan. What's it on?
The one where they have the discs in the back of their head and they can pull them out and put them in different bodies. It's on Netflix.
Altered Carbon?
Yes, it's not Michael B. Jordan, is it?
No.
No, my
I don't
bad.
think so.
He's in a different movie I like.
It's the guy from
Anthony Mackie.
I don't know the actors' names that are. But I know is it altered carbon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you like move your consciousness to a different body,
Yes.
more or less. Yeah.
What were we talking about?
We're talking.
I'm so right there. I'm ready to slam dunk it.
Fuck. Fuck. Michael Jordan. We're talking about.
It's such a duh thing when you remember it.
I know. Fuck. Damn it. It's
We may
like,
never know.
It always comes back though. It always does.
Well, the thing about Alter Carbon that's dope is
Changing your consciousness.
oh yes, I'm with you. Sorry, thank you.
Okay.
It always comes back.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know when he's like walking through the culture and the society, and it's like the hotels are run by AI, and it's like a projected image of someone trying to get you to come into the hotel?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a scary thought. That's like the worst outcome, but it could get there, I guess. But I think it's gonna feel a lot more natural than like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, are we there already? Kind of. There's like billboards and commercials on everything. Like you're kind of already there. You know? Will it get more weird and more integrated? It's like probably.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Hold on tight. We're the humanists. The start of the humanist party here, right here. We love people. People.
I love you guys. Thanks for going on the ride.
People are some shit, man. We're strange, but we love us. We love y'all. Love everybody. Love thy neighbor. Love thyself. Love God with all you got. That's it. It's worth it. That's why. End of story. Need I say more? No. But you're going to need more. So I will. We'll keep talking. We'll be back next week. For the rest of our lives.
With that.
Yes.
Good night.
Peace, y'all.
Rolling through the city to the light show. Really ain't no telling where